Something. Why is it so easy for, maybe not for you, but a lot of people will look at guys and say they're just winners, and a lot of that's BS. A lot of the time, they're just in good situations. But this dude just wins. He wins. He's won on 2 different teams, and importantly,
Bill Belichick and Kyle Shanahan.
Okay, but when you've taken him out of the equation, then they couldn't win. They went from they're kind of elite. You take them out, they're garbage. You put them back, they're elite again.
Can you at least have the decency to mention the names of the dudes that replaced him when he was out?
Matt Castle replaced Tom Brady, won 11 games.
Stop talking about the Patriots.
Leave them out of it. 2008?
Max, leave them out of it, okay? Stop saying that Belichick wanted him over Brady.
Did he want him, yes or no?
I don't know that, Max. Oh, no? What I know is Brady won 3 after that. That's what I know.
What do you think?
Here's the other thing that I know. Whatever. I just need you to stop saying that, okay? I need you to stop saying Jimmy G was going to usher in what Tom Brady did.
He might not have won all 3. He might not have won the same number of Super Bowls, but Belichick looked at him and said, okay, he's going to be something like Brady going forward.
We get it. Rex, get in here.
Yes, please. I'm going to say this. First off, Tom Brady, man, there's no way in hell Bill Belichick never wanted Tom Brady. He also wanted Garoppolo. Why? Because when it's time to exit, he could have gone to him. But he, at no point, Max, there's no chance he wanted him over Tom Brady. There's no chance. I don't believe that. But I will say this. When I look at Garoppolo, I don't think he gets enough credit because, so all of a sudden, Emmanuel Sanders is a huge trade and all this stuff. He's the difference maker. Well, was he the difference maker in Denver or Pittsburgh? No, he's there now. He's playing his best ball that he's played. Dabo Samuel, who I call Debo, Sweeney, or Dabo Sweeney because nobody knows his name. He is from South Carolina. But he could have been drafted by all these teams. Right now, he's making plays all over the place. Wait till they get Marquise Goodwin back in. Now they have more speed. I'm telling you, I've said since week 6 that this is the best team in the NFL, and I'm going to stand by it.
Where's the quarterback rank in terms of Stephen A. is trying to frame it like that's the weak link. Is Jimmy G the weak link still?
I don't know if he's the weak link there. He's not a weak link, and I think that's what he proved. Shanahan put him in there, put the ball in his hand instead of his running game.
Let me explain better than he did in terms of what I'm talking about when you allude to a weak link. I'm not trying to say that Jimmy Garoppolo is weak. What I'm trying to say is that if I'm game planning and I'm worried about things, there are a few things I'm worried about before I get to him. When at least before this season, when it came to the Patriots, damn it, what am I going to do about that Tom Brady? When it comes to New Orleans, what am I going to do about Drew Brees? When it comes to Green Bay, what am I going to do about Aaron Rodgers? What I'm saying is when you talk about the San Francisco 49ers, before yesterday, you literally walked into a game, what do I have to do about this, and this, before I even got to Jimmy Garoppolo?
I want to ask Rex a question because we're going to get into the defense later with you guys because that was a big story for me. How did the Niners allow that many points? What did you see yesterday from them? Are you concerned at all?
I was concerned because I thought this was the best defense in the National Football League. Yeah. And I think talent-wise they are. That front four, though, I was surprised how the Saints and Drew Brees and company handle that defense. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And let's face it, if the tight end doesn't get hurt, I don't think they win. And because they had no answer for Jared Cook until he they did have an answer. They knock him out. But that was the only way that they could slow him down. And so, yes, it's a concern, but I'm not overly concerned. All right, it's a tough building to play. We talk about winning on the road. Well, that thing, winning on the road and then some, playing in New Orleans. But it also goes back and hey, you're not as good as we think. We've got to really study, and sometimes you can get better when you have a performance like this.
As a first full season.
As a quick nugget, and I don't know if we're going to get into this later, but we started off the show showing that clip of Sean Payton. I don't know about the rest of y'all. I'm getting tired of that, man. And I'm going to tell you why. You call a fake punt on a 4th down, you know what? You ain't getting a pass interference on that. Right. It's not going to happen. You got to know that. Like you talked about the coverage against Kittle. You got to know that at some point in time. Listen, because I harken back to Mike Tomlin. Last year, Mike Tomlin was on a hot seat. I got news for you. Mike Tomlin has as many Super Bowl victories as Sean Payton, and he's been to one more Super Bowl than Sean Payton. And Sean Payton went several years with Drew Brees healthy, missing the playoffs. I respect the hell out of him as a head coach. But listen, there are question marks. And the fact that, once again, he's going to talk about the officiating, he doesn't think about the position He puts his team in that forces you to rely on the officials. It's almost, Max, like he's calling plays at times, looking for help from the officials instead of getting the job done. You can't do that.
He also even by not complaining, he's kind of complaining when he's not complaining.
Yes.
But I will say this. You'd be hard-pressed to remember a team over this span who keeps getting jobbed in, like, big moments in obvious ways. Like even
it's been rough for them the last couple of years.
Yeah, in the NFC Championship game, I thought, well, look, they missed a pass interference on the other end of the field just right before that play. But still, the Saints one was so egregious. It was so obvious. And it keeps happening to them.
The frustration level from Sean Payton is his 2 Super Bowls that you're looking at in New Orleans and saying, we there. They give up the miracle in Minnesota, and then obviously the following year against the Rams where it was definitely a pass interference. Here's the thing, though. Like, to your point, Stephen A., and I agree with you in this regard. I got one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. If I'm going to go for it on 4th down, just go for it.
That's right.
I give my team a better chance by saying, hey, Drew, go see if you can pick this thing up. Because I'm going to live with the consequences anyway on a fake punt. Now, here's the deal. When you look at what the magnitude of this game was, to Max's point, it's like a playoff atmosphere because both of them playing for home field. So coaches are pulling things out of their bag this particular week that they wouldn't usually do. And then the way the game was going, I heard the announcers talking about it all game. The Saints lost Jerry Cook, which changes their entire game plan. So I actually got to give Sean Payton some credit for being able to adjust.
But we know he's great. We know he's great. My quick point is simply this. Knowing the backdrop as a coach, if you know I've been screwed a few times, why would you put yourself in a position where you could potentially need help from the officials when you got Drew Brees?
Real quick,
why?
Just to bring it back to Jimmy G for a second, the playoff, it's not just home field. It's who's going to play an extra game in the playoffs likely. That's so big. Come on, an extra game against a playoff team. And stop saying that Belichick wanted him out of town. I'll tell you one guy who wanted someone out of town. Brady wanted Garoppolo out of town. And now you're seeing why. And quarterback play is one of the reasons right now that San Francisco is better than New England.
When he says that, because I wish Brady had Kittle and Debo and Emmanuel.
He's never had enough.
Do you think Belichick would have benched Tom Brady
at this point
right now
at this
over
point,
Garoppolo
would be the starter?
There's no chance.
No chance. And this is
no chance.
If the Niners make it to the Super Bowl, we'll be in Miami doing the show at the Clevelander. I'd like you to buy me dinner, Prime 112, the prawns, the lobster. You can afford it.
Because of what?
Because you're not believing.
Because I'm not believing in Jimmy G.
Yeah.
I'd believe in him then.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I believe in him then.
Okay. A lot more to come on Thursday. Did the Patriots get robbed by the officials, or is it something else that cost them a win?
I say that's not loud enough.
The Ravens continue to rack up wins, so has Lamar wrapped up the MVP award already. One of these guys says not so fast, and the college football playoff is set. LSU, Ohio State, Clemson, Oklahoma. So does Dabo have a reason to be upset? We debate it. First Take, just getting started.